Try 5. Awesome. Let's see here.
And
I wonder if you can hear this.
I've got 2 low and 1 to the right.
So 3 Charlie.
Charlie's. I'll shoot it again.
So his time with 3 Charlies was let's see. Let me do the math real quick on that. I'm curious. So, oh my God, he did it in the 6:39. Wow. 6 seconds. That's ridiculously fast. And he had
that was your drill?
Yep. Yeah, he did 12 alphas and 3 Charlies. So let's do the math on that real quick. That was his cold run. God bless America.
See, and I don't think I could run that drill in 6:39, even if I didn't fire.
He had a 10.85 hit factor. That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me. I don't think I can run 10 yards in six seconds.
I don't remember what my friend Stoney's was. Stoney had the highest cold run so far. But I think Tim, I have to go back through my messages and look around, but I think Tim Herring just got the he did a 6 seconds I'd have to go back and look for it. But yeah, looks like Tim Herring has the new highest hit factor for cold run, because this is meant to be a cold run. Yep, he does. Here it is. Stoney's was a 10.7. Tim got him by 0.15.
Wow. Well, there's the goal to shoot for, huh?
Yeah. If you're and that's what I made it. If you're anything over 10 and up, you're killing it. You're crushing it.
You say anything under 10?
Over 10.
Over 10. Or you're talking about on I don't know how to score this, so you're talking about
hit
points.
Factor. Yeah, so just all your points divided by time. So you can either go really fast and get okay points, or you can go kind of fast and get great points.
Right.
Either way, you got to get good points.
Yeah. So what would be you're saying 10 points would be a good score? Is that what you're saying?
10 hit factor.
And that's the HS scoring process you were telling me about, right?
Yep. Total points divided by time. So every alpha is worth
10 hit factor. Okay.
Right. Every alpha is worth 5 points. Charlie is worth 3. Delta.
Yeah.
Is worth 1.
The whole. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how to score. Like I said, my competition shooting is limited to the point where I may as well not even discuss it. Okay. So the scoring part of it, that's kind of foreign to me. As far as how y'all scoring in the competitions.
Yeah.
I want to run the drill. I'm hoping my hip and lower back will cooperate. Y'all got to realize y'all dealing with an old man. I'm an old man. A lot more gray in my beard than Tyler does.
I don't know how mine ended up being red.
I'm almost as old as Johnny.
Oh man.
How it's remained red? Well, you hadn't hit 40 or 50. You hadn't hit 40 or 50 yet. I'm turning 56 here in a few months. So.
Oh man, Mr. Carl, I hate to break it to you, but man, it looks like your internet's just struggling too bad.
Mikos is right. My internet is really struggling.
Yeah.
Let me try to reload one more time. I think my wife is on it. in the other room, and that might be slowing me down.
Yep.
Let me go check with her, and I'm gonna hit reload real quick.
Okay, I'll talk to the
and I'll
fine
try to be
folks
back
of
here in a
internet
second.
land while you're gone. Hello, people, fine people of internet land. So yeah, Tim Herron's is the new highest cold hit factor run of a 10.85. He did it in, again, 6.36 seconds with 12 alpha and 3 Charlie. For those that were warning, previously held best cold time or cold hit factor was Stony Steel with 2 Charlie and 13 alpha at a 6.44. So, less than a tenth of difference on speed, but it was enough. That 0.8 and only dropping 2 more points did it. Stoney was at a 10.7 and Tim Herron's at a 10.85. There's Carl again. There we go. Oh, hello.
Okay, I can see you and hear you now. My wife is she's working from home. She's doing some training videos.
Yeah.
And I think that she's kind of drawing away from my internet act. You got to realize 2 years ago, we did not even have internet where I live. It was not available. So,
man, I still remember the days of getting an AOL CD to download it on your computer. And then you had to make sure nobody was on the phone so that you could spend 5 minutes trying to get your computer to connect to the internet. So, Tim's on
now I remember that
phone
too.
Here, let's see.
They probably still have those around here.
Videos. But yeah, so what are
somebody tell me if you can hear me and see me now.
Yeah, I can hear you and see you. You just kind of pixelated.
Yeah, you're frozen to me again.
Yeah,
I can hear you. I can't. I mean, but you're not moving. So, all right. So, all right. I'm going to come at it from a different angle. No good. All right. I'm going to reload one more time and let's try this out.
I hate technology. I like a lot. Getting some feedback and some data on the pudding patch. The official, once the patches come in, I'll make like an official way to run it and score it and all that. It looks like we may have to get that pushed back to 10 yards instead of 7. It looks like people are doing it a little too easily at 7. More to come on the pudding patch in the near future. There's Carl again. All right, the 13th time is a charm.
I changed locations, so hopefully this will work. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Okay. Comment below. What are y'all's favorite drills, standards, exercises?
Okay.
All goes.
So like I said, I'm gonna probably come at this from a slightly different angle and understand kind of where I'm coming from. I work with a ton of people who are brand new. I'm talking about they know that the projectile comes out of the muzzle, and that's about it. They show up. They do not know how to break their gun down. They don't know how to clean their gun. They don't know I mean, you're talking a lot of people that have literally never fired a gun before in their life. And so we're talking very, very, very limited knowledge. And then I also get occasionally the guy who and I say occasionally, it's 15, 20%, who shows up who thinks he knows an awful lot more than he does.
Right.
And, and I'm not saying that they have an attitude or that they're, or anything like that. It's just they're surprised at how much they learn over the course of a class or two that they didn't know before. And they're surprised at how much of what they had been told was incorrect or not exactly correct, that sort of thing. So my baseline drill for these people is a simple 5x5 drill. And for those that don't know what that is, 5-inch target, you're shooting from 5 yards, 5 shots, 5 seconds is your time, and you do it 5 times. 1 miss or 1 millisecond over 5 seconds, and you fail the entire drill. Okay, so
is that from a draw?
It's from the low ready, from the ready position. Okay.
Okay.
I would like to get everybody to the point where they can do that from the draw. One of the things I like about this drill is I've taken some students who were brand new. I put them through 2 or 3, 4 classes, whatever. And when I get to the point where I think, okay, let me put just a little bit of stress on them, and they blow it. You can see when you turn that shot timer on, you see their chest start heaving. They're sucking wind. They're like, oh my God, I'm up against the clock.
Yeah.
And they actually build their own adrenaline dump.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me the opportunity to say, all right, do you see how bad you did there? That's what firing under stress is going to be like. So what we have to do is calm down, fall back on the fundamentals, focus on hitting the target. If you screw up, don't worry about it. We're going to build on that. And it's a very simple drill. And I think, this is my personal opinion, but I think that anybody walking around in public carrying a gun, concealed carry, ought to be able to pass this drill. But I am amazed that the overwhelming majority of them can't do it. They can't.
Interesting.
Once again, I think the shot timer plays a major role in it, but we're not talking, I think a lot of it, they psych themselves out because they know they're up against that timer, and they they just start blasting. I had one girl who was a very, very good student, very studious student, very detail oriented and that sort of thing. And I mean, man, she was shooting 1-2 inch groups at 15, 20 feet, no problem. After several classes, she came in cold. I mean, she came in not knowing anything about guns, period. And after 3 or 4 classes, I mean, she was doing great. And once I turned that shot timer on and put her on that 5x5 drill, the first 3 times she tried it, she didn't even hit the target. I mean, she just completely went blank. And so to me, that's kind of my baseline drill is, let's see how well you do on this. And it's going to tell me several things. And again, like Tanner said earlier, we can work some variations of this drill in. Okay. We can go, you're going to do this 5 times. So you got 5 5-inch circles that you're firing at, right? Okay. So let's go with a 10-round magazine and then a 15-round magazine, or 5 rounds in the magazine, whatever. And let's work reload. Let's work mag changes in there. So we got to hit 5 in this target, and then change mags, hit the next target 5, and then change mags again, and do that. And let's see and we're on the clock, and we want to do this in under, let's say, 30 seconds. Okay. So you're adding a little bit more stress. to it. And you can come up with any number of variations. I haven't actually run that. That's just one I thought of. But think about what you're doing there on a brand new student. You're making them handle the gun longer. You're making them shoot on the clock, trying to get accurate shots, trying to get, they always talk about the balance between speed and accuracy. No, I don't want a balance. I want both, right? Okay, so we're acclimating them towards that end, but the mechanics have got to be there. The grip's got to be there. Trigger press got to be there. The mag change has got to be there. The transitions have got to be there from one target to the next. Because after every 5 shots, we're changing to a new target.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for you, that would not be a tough drill. For Mikos or Tim or any of you guys, that would not be a tough drill. For a brand new shooter, it's something to aspire to. That's what I like. I had a lady down here Sunday. She started out and she was brand new. Her husband's a hunter and he knows a little bit about rifles and that sort of thing, but neither one of them are real knowledgeable on handguns. She had zero knowledge. And I started working with her back the first of the year and she started doing really well. And then she had to have ankle surgery. She's got some kind of disease and had to go in for surgery on her ankle. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of started all over. And I had her down here a couple of weeks ago, and I kind of said, okay, let's see how much you've lost, being that you haven't been able to do any dry fire, anything. She couldn't stand up. She couldn't move. She couldn't do anything. She was down for about 6 or 8 weeks. And so last week or 2 weeks ago, she did really well. She kind of picked up right where we left off, a little bit slower, but she was good. And we're talking about just shooting consistent groups, right, on the target at 15 feet or whatever. So I was happy with that. I was happy that she, she was hitting accurately. And I said, all right, we're going to go to phase 2. We're going to start coming out of the holster. Mm-hmm. And you reminded me of this earlier because you were talking about the difference between drills, exercises, and standards. What standard coming out of the holster do I set for a new shooter? Okay. So what I did with her was I said, there's no standard. What I want you to do is get the mechanics right. I want you to draw the gun, come into that two-handed grip, press out on the gun, find your sights and hit the target. And I don't care how long it takes you to do it. And so she did that about 20 times. And I said, all right, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to turn on the shot timer. And I want you to do what we just have been practicing on for the last 15, 20 minutes, whatever. And let's get a baseline of where you are. Mm-hmm. And she averaged out at about 8.45 seconds from draw to first shot. Okay. And I said, now here's what I want to leave you with. What I want you to do is go home and I want you to do 50 draws to first shot dry fire drills per night, every night, and then come back next week and let's see where you are.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, it is, but if she'll do it, I think she's going to surprise herself. Yeah. I will not be shocked if she shaves 3 to 4 seconds off of that. And if she gets down to a 4-second draw to first shot, hey, we've made progress.
Oh, yeah.
And again, like I said, you and I are coming from different angles. You're working with people who have a solid foundation under them. I'm trying to give them a solid foundation so that I can send them to somebody like you or Mikos or some of the other instructors out there. These people, somebody said earlier they fired this drill cold. These people fire 12 drills and they're still cold. Okay. they don't have that solid foundation. And that's right. That's what we're trying to put underneath them. So that's one of my favorite drills, not for me, although I run it too, but for other people.
Yeah, I do get a chance to help brand new shooters. Case in point, actually, believe it or not, this past Thursday, Sunday, excuse me, I had a gentleman reach out to me from a business leads meeting that I attend every week, and he brought out a old Ruger P85, man, with
Wow.
Crimson Trace laser grips on them. He opens up the box. He says, "This gun was given to me a couple years ago, and it's been sitting in this box ever since." He's like, "I remember shooting a AR-15 with a friend of mine years ago, and that's it. That's all I know about guns. This joker ain't got no holster. He didn't know what ammo what he was supposed to buy. All that. So
Yeah.
it is it. I don't get a chance to do it nearby as much as you do. But I tell you this, to teach someone like that brings me back to where I started, and it's
Yeah.
refreshing. It really is refreshing.
You said that in one of your videos on your YouTube channel, and it really got me to thinking. You mentioned, going back to where did I start? What did I know? And I thought about that, and I said, you know what, man? Sometimes I know I'm talking over their head, you kind of reminded me to force myself to go back and look again. I'm nowhere close to being a master level shooter or anything like that. I know the base. I consider myself adequate. I tell them all the time, if you're going to carry a gun in public, concealed carry for self-defense, you need to be at least as adequate as I am in it. But that's all I am. Okay. But adequate in my definition of the term compared to your average brand new shooter, there's a wide gap. There's a gulf between those two positions. Sure. So going back to the basics, I taught that during football when I was coaching, football. I told them all the time, look, we win football games by adhering strictly to the fundamentals and executing them with more attention to detail than our opponent. Simple as that.
Yep. I totally agree. Every time I teach an enhanced carry class, which is a very beginner, basic level class for our state enhanced carry endorsement deal, I tell them, I was like, there ain't no such thing as advanced shooting unless you're some sort of like door kicker. And I'd be like, raise your hand if you kick doors for a living. Of course, nobody raises their hand. I'm like, look, ain't no such thing as advanced shooting skills. It's just simply not screwing up the fundamentals all the time. That's as good as you're ever going to get, as to where you never screw up the fundamentals. And then at that point, there would be things that you screw up every once in a while, but even those little screw ups, you still look like Superman in comparison to the regular Joe Blow.
Yeah. Yeah. And all right, so you kind of just segued us into our second topic for the night, and I'm gonna have to be kind of quick on this, actually.
Same.
But realistic expectations. Have you ever, when you said that the other night, I kind of laughed because I had just gotten a call from a young guy in his early mid-20s that wanted me to teach him a carbine class and or a rifle class. And I said specifically, what are you looking for? And he said, we want to get into the tactical stuff, room clearing and all of that. And I said, are you a police officer? He said, no. I said, are you a mercenary? He said, no. I said, are you planning on defending your home in this manner? Because that's not what I would recommend you do. No, none of that. I said, okay, so why do you want to know it? Well, I just think we need to know these kinds of things. And so he got a long dissertation from me about, all right, let's go back. Let's learn the basics first. How much experience do you actually have shooting anything? Well, none. Okay. So I think that the internet creates a lot of unrealistic expectations.
Media in general, movies, all that.
Exactly. So realistically, what does the average citizen out there who wants to carry a handgun. They bought their first gun. What does the average person aspire to, in your opinion?
The average in-use defensive guy that just needs to be quote unquote adequate, because he's an accountant in a nice area and lives in the suburbs, and his life ain't got any amount of danger outside of the random night where he decides to stop in the wrong spot to get gasoline on the
Right.
outside of that one situation. Realistically, if you can, what you just said, the 5.55 thing, look, man, that's a good realistic expectation, is to be able to shoot that on demand at any time. There you go. All right. Now, say you are a security guard in a not so great area. I'd like you to be able to. I'd like to see probably a 6-ish hit factor on my Tri-5. All right. Now you're a cop. You're a regular cop, right? You're not a SWAT guy. I'd like to see that same 6. All right. I'd like to see you starting to get into the high 80s on a 10-10-10 at the very least. Now let's go to a SWAT cop. I want to see somewhere between 7 and 10 hit factor on demand on my Tri-5. I'd like to see mid 90s on a 10-10-10, so on and so forth. And then you can cross that over to door kickers, team guys, small unit tactics, things like that. That's, if I had to put some measurable actual number on it, that's what I would go with. But for me, a guy that lives somewhere in the middle, I have a not that safe of a daily job. What I do, wandering around aimlessly, basically with a bunch of expensive tools in South and West Jackson every day. I'd probably want to be just as good as as a regular cop, if not better. But I get the ability to be me, and so I'm very blessed to have abilities much higher than that. I don't expect people to expect themselves to be able to shoot like me after 1 or 2 classes with me, because that's very unrealistic. People don't realize the 5+ years and actual dedication and obsession I've put into it just become this good. And there are still people out there that are way better than me. So I'll tell people straight up, man, like, you need to figure out how good you want to be, and then let me know how good you think you want to be, and I'll tell you how much work that requires, and that might tell you whether or not you actually want to do that, or you might want to readjust those expectations.
Yeah, I think, I can't remember who it was, but it may have been Riley Bowman that put out an article on realistic expectations for the average person, and it was, if you go on the USPSA qualification classes from D class up to Grand Master, I think he said that you needed, that you shoot for a C class, and that would get you through most gunfights. I may have misread that, but
no, you're right.
But I agreed with it, and you're implementing. I think according to his chart, you had implementing some fast drills in there, some LPRES drills, some of that stuff, and all those things. I mean, like, all right, so on the fast drill, I'm not going to start out shooting somebody twice the head, 4 to the body, but I might, but that's not, most likely I'm going to go, start out hitting high upper chest, high center chest, that sort of thing. But what those drills do, in my opinion, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, or if you got a different opinion, but to me, what they do is they give you a cross section of skills, such as being able to transition, being able to get the gun on target, throttle control, trigger control, grip, all of those things. They're not when we say we're going to go out and shoot a fast drill, it's not that, I'm training you to start out 2 to the head and 4 to the body, or I think that's what the fast drill is. I demented. I don't remember. But,
I don't either. So Ernest Langdon is now the person that does them, but he's not the originator of it. I can't remember who originated. I just know Ernest Langdon now has it or does it.
Yeah. Well, and it's like on an El Pres drill. To me, the value of that is not that you expect to be charged by 3 people at 10 yards. It's that it is working in, we are drawing the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Being at 10 yards, we're shooting at a smaller target. You're practicing transitions. You're practicing driving the gun by bending, at the knees. Mm-hmm. As you sweep across targets. You're working in mag changes. And people think of it as, oh, this is what I do if 3 people are coming at me. Well, it's pretty unlikely in the real world that 3 people are going to charge at you. And in most scenarios that I've seen, if there are 3 of them, because they do work in teams nowadays. I mean, You see more and more and more of that. But it's pretty likely that once you fire on that one guy, the other 2 are going to run.
Yep.
Okay. But so don't think about it in terms of 3 people coming at me, I'm 10 yards away. It may be that you're shooting at one guy and you got to get a different sight picture here. And then he moves 3 yards laterally. And now I got to get another sight picture. And then I got to get another sight. So you're practicing those transitions are important. And rather than sitting there rattling off 5 or 6 shots at a stationary target. I heard Ken Hackathorn say one time a while back, the guy is not going to stand still and let you shoot at him. And he drew the analogy, have you ever been stung by a hornet? Well, I have. I was driving a tractor down in South Alabama one time, plowing up a green field. And I got hit right in the back of the neck by a yellow jacket. You know what I did? I about jumped off the freaking tractor. I mean, I thought I'd been shot with a bow and arrow or something. I mean, I jumped, right? When you shoot that guy, he's not going to stand still and let you shoot at him. So transitions are extremely important. Being able maybe to put 2 shots while I have the sight picture, and then he moves, but he still hasn't gone down. And now I got to put 2, 3 more shots on him as fast and accurately as I can go. That's a lot more realistic. So to me, what those drills do is they combine your accuracy, hopefully that you've achieved, with all of the other mechanical things that might come into a real life scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm shutting up and letting you talk now.
Oh no, you're fine. Your internet's doing crazy stuff again, but yeah, I mean, and not to drag it out any longer. We're already over an hour, but it comes down to how much bandwidth do you want to have whenever it's time to defend your life or the life of someone you love. Do you want a lot of bandwidth? Well, and then that means that you need to be able to manipulate and shoot that gun without much thought, without much conscious thought. If you think you can get away with not much bandwidth in your brain, then fine. Be lazy with the gun and don't have that level of automaticity that would help out. Internet. Looks like we fully lost him, so I might just go ahead and hit the end broadcast. Oh, yeah, we fully lost him. That's okay. Thanks for hanging in with us, guys. Hope this was helpful. We will try our best to get Carl's internet fixed before the next time. So I was just doing a quick little sign off for folks. What you got for final thoughts there, Mr. Carl?
Next time, I may stay at my office in town, although I'm not sure the internet's a whole lot better there. I'm sorry, folks. We had all these problems tonight. I thought it was a really good conversation. I don't know how much y'all got, but we may have to cover this subject again on the next one to make up for any shortcomings. But one thing I want to say is y'all tell us what you want us to talk about. We call this combined arms because Tyler and I kind of come from slightly different disciplines, slightly different, approaches to things. And plus, he's in Mississippi and I'm in Alabama. He's Army, I'm Marine Corps. So it's kind of like, there's a lot of, that was what I thought about, combined arms,
You're right.
So, y'all let us know what y'all want us to talk about, and we'd love input going into future shows. So, and don't forget to spread us around on internet. Maybe not tonight's broadcast since since my internet crapped all over us. But yeah, if you don't mind, share us on your Facebook pages or whatever.
Yeah.
Social media you're on. So.
Yep.
All right, man. Hey, good to see you, buddy. I'm about to go throw 2 steaks on the grill.
Well, I'm gonna go dry fire. I got a level 2 match to shoot this weekend down in Florida, so
good deal.
Try to get tuned up for that.
I got a brand new shooter coming in. He's 18 years old. He just graduated high school last week. His dad bought him a SIG P365, and he is very, very excited. And I have high hopes of pushing him your way after I get through with him. So,
come on, love to have him.
All right, brother.
All right,
appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Right. Bye-bye.